Neuroscientist Danial Wolpert gave a really interesting talk on TED. I'll put the link in the subject matter at the bottom of the video so everyone can watch it, and I suggest you do, because he claims that the brain's primary purpose is for movement and not thought. That's huge. If he's right, we've been downgrading the importance of the body for a very, very long time. So long have we been treating the body as a secondary extension. For some people, even just to move them in front of a computer or in front of the TV or to get them to work, they don't really pay much attention to their body until something goes wrong. So let's look at what Danial said. Danial's core claim is the only way an organism can affect the world is through movement. Example, moving limbs, vocal cords, eyes, sensing, memory, and cognition exist to serve movement. So I personally have been training since I was 12, 13 years old. A long time. I'm 58 this year and it's been a massive part of my life. But I know exercise gave me a form of intelligence that nothing else can give you. It gave me a confidence in self-belief that went very, very deep. And it gave me the ability to see the world as it really was, rather than framing it in a way that I wanted it to be. And I think that's really important, because people get overly sentimental, overly feeling about things, and they tend to see the world according to how they want it to be rather than how it really is. And exercise definitely gave me a reality check in actually what my capabilities were and framing the world around me. It also gave me that all-important intelligence of being able to question the status quo, being able to question what we were being told within authority, people around me. And I think that's a really important skill that we could all do with in today's modern world where truth and courage are completely out of fashion. And to test oneself physically is a real experience. It gives you direct feedback. It's not theory. It gives you direct feedback on where you are, what your capabilities are, even how you feel on that day, and exactly how much resilience you could possibly have. So it gives a direct experience in the moment. So when I went and did things like ultra running, it gave me a direct feedback of what I was capable of, how I would react under pressure when things got really tough, as I did martial arts training. So that is so valuable. That is so valuable to be able to have that ability to be able to know without any theorizing, but to know for certain how much resilience you have, what you can withstand, and exactly where you are physically and mentally when you get put under immense pressure. So my own observations show that the elite athletes I've worked with, the old warriors, they were not people pleasers. They were able to think 2 to 3 steps ahead in their sport, which meant they were able to think 2 to 3 steps ahead in real life as well, outside of their chosen physical endeavour. So what I noticed in these guys is that they tended to look and see political agendas. They tended to see when someone was lying. Even without meeting them, they could just tell. That's a really valuable skill to have. And I noticed that they were able to detect things just innately, just intuitively, that nobody else could, because they came from this physical backdrop of capability and resilience, and they could incorporate that into the world around them. So I love what Daniel's saying about how it moves in your environment. That's the brain's primary purpose, because anything going on in your environment you tend to pick up more clearly than people that don't exercise and people that haven't explored that area in any great depth. So I personally believe our brains have a whole range of potential that we don't really understand yet, and it can be accessed only through physicality. And I think that's something we need to look at. And I think Danial, if he's right, he's basically opening up a whole idea here of information, of experimentation, that maybe, is it possible that how we train, the speed of movement we train in, could affect how we think and how we interact with the world around us? It looks quite likely. I've been interested in this for many years. I think it's absolutely true, and I can understand how the brain can open up different areas to us by physical movement. This is why I said in a previous video, when you do things like yoga and breath work, it releases parts of us we often didn't even know were there. And I think lots of physical pursuits can do this as well. I literally change my clients' mindsets by how they train. Literally change their mindsets. And I want to bring up this framework again. I want you to have a look at this. I know I've done it before, but I think it's worth bringing up again here. The thought, food, and movement. Although these all have different functions listed in the description, the truth is all three change our reality. The way we eat, the way we exercise, and the philosophy of living we decide to frame our world. And I think this is true. You'll never find a fully embodied, confident masculine man who hasn't explored his physical self, who hasn't explored the physical arena. No amount of theorizing and academic study can replace the gift and the beauty and the intelligence that physical training can give you. It just never will. So to be really fully embodied, masculine, confident man, you have to have that physicality. You just have to. Because as Danial Wolpert's suggesting here, if the brain's primary purpose is for movement and not thought, this opens up a whole new world. And we know, obviously, when the applications to mental health, where they always say, make sure you exercise because it's good for you. But I think that's a really basic outlook on it. I think it's really basic because what I found is even slow movements, fast movements, they all bring about a different impact on the brain and how you frame the world and how you interact with it. So I think we can go much further than that. That's such a base understanding, and it's not even that inspiring, I don't think. But if we look on exercise as something that's going to actually give us a whole new framing of the world, a whole new discovery of intelligence we didn't know were there. So even our thinking's quicker, even our thinking's clearer. Not because we've got a clear mind, but because of the way our body can now move and the speed of which it can now move. This is exciting stuff to me. So I'll put the link in the description. Have a look, see what you think, and we can discuss more.